Nabil?
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Council members. My name is Nabil Shehade. I represent U.S. Composite Pipe Company, the maker of flow-type pipe. Before I make my comments, I just want to congratulate the city for embracing technology with such enthusiasm. I hate to say this is my first city council meeting, and I'm extremely pleased with the sense of family and community in this chamber. The recommendation before you is to award the Santa Ana River Trunk Sewer Replacement Project tonight, which is item 37 on the agenda. If this project is approved, it will cost the city of Riverside approximately $2 million, more than it should. As you know, city and state law require that public work projects be awarded in a competitive bidding procedure to ensure that the city and the taxpayers receive the best price for the project. There was no competitive bidding for millions of dollars worth of pipe on this project. This recommendation is contrary to city policy to always seek open and vigorous competition in your public works procurement practice. As a matter of fact, it would be based on a single source charging a premium price. What happened to cause the city to lose such competitive process? The design firm that was hired specifies our pipe on similar applications all the time, elsewhere in the state and around the U.S. However, on this particular project, they were directed by city staff to write the specification around the Green Book standards, which are unnecessary for this application and eliminate all but one manufacturer. No deviations for these requirements were granted, thus excluding all competition and increasing costs. 4 Southern California pipe plants were excluded from this project. The manufacturer on this project is from Houston. Several other products were excluded. The result, the city of Riverside is about to overpay $2 million premium, thinking they are buying insurance that would protect them. Far from it. They pay $2 million premium for a pipe that has been identified as collapsing and failing in service as recently as last year. And I included all the articles. These are public articles in the submittal. Some people might think, why not do the testing and comply with Green Book specification? The Green Book specification is non-performance specs. It's exclusionary in nature and it's proprietary spec. This is a typical 48-inch gravity sewer pipe, nothing unusual and unique about this. This type of construction has been going on for generations, for years.
Well, you need to come to a conclusion.
I'm sorry. Typically, jobs like this are governed by ASTM specification. These are national specification, not by local Green Book standards. We are currently supplying pipe to the author of the Green Book standards, and right now it's being constructed by College and Sons. Yeah. So finally, I'm going to come to this. I apologize. I would ask you to take the time to evaluate the bids openly in the light of day. Allow the competitive process to take hold and save the city of Riverside and the taxpayers money, $2 million worth. Thank you very much.
Would ask Tom Boyd if he wishes to comment on, I guess there are really 2 issues have been identified, a bid process and the pipe that's been required.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Tom Boyd, I'm the Deputy Public Works Director and the City Engineer. There were 2 issues brought up. First, we'll talk about the selection of the contractors, the lowest bid. The comments made by the first speaker regarding the apparent low bidder submitting multiple subcontractors, that is how the bid was submitted to the city. And under state contract code, they are allowed to self-perform that work or be deemed non-responsive. We received a confirmation from Spinello and companies that they would self-perform that work. They've been in business since about 1942, I believe, and they have submitted with their original bid proposal experience, which myself, my principal engineer, the purchasing services manager, and a representative from the city attorney's office has all reviewed and believe that they are capable of performing the job. They are also about 16% less expensive than the fourth bidder. Regarding the type of pipe that we specified for the project was designed around a specific type of pipe, but under the Green Book specifications and our own contract documents, bidders are allowed to propose alternate pipe materials. And we even issued an addendum to the contract reminding the bidders that this was allowed. In terms of what alternate pipe is acceptable to the city, there is a reinforced concrete T-lock pipe, which is commonly used and would have been acceptable to the department. None of the bidders chose to use that pipe. The pipe, the representative of the pipe manufacturer that is here today, their pipe, the Department of Public Works has adopted the Green Book standard for sewer pipes, and all the sewer pipes have to meet certain chemical resistance testing. The pipe that's being presented tonight, Flow-Tite, has never been tested to our knowledge for the chemical resistance testing, and being in a sewer situation, which is a highly corrosive atmosphere, we feel it's very important that that the pipe material meets that test. It's not a city test, it's basically well accepted throughout the Southern California region, and I don't know how widely it's spread through the rest of the country. But that's the chemical resistance testing that we've specified for the pipe.
Tom, thank you very much. We'll now move to the
Mayor, before we begin, can we have Paul Sundin come up and talk a little bit about the financing and some of the questions that were brought up? You oversee our finances, and there were some questions about discretionary monies and auditing and such, and obviously we've been audited, but maybe you can make some comments on that?
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, I'd be happy to comment broadly. We, of course, have been audited since the city's inception, so there's been an ongoing audit by some independent accounting firm for year after year after year after year. This past 5 years, we were audited by a firm that in a particular circumstance was deemed that their audit process wasn't as thorough as it might have been. However, that was a particular situation, and this firm has received what are deemed to be peer reviews that are clean, meaning that they passed their peer review process on a number of occasions. In other words, the particular firm on a nationwide basis is a very reputable firm and would normally do an excellent job. The costs associated with re-auditing any of the city's records would be very, very significant, and certainly, in my view, not worth that expenditure of funds. It was mentioned that the city manager has $50,000 worth of expenditure authority, and of course that's the fact. And on a quarterly basis, all the expenditures that have been approved by the city manager are given to the Finance Committee, and they're reviewed to the extent that the Finance Committee deems it appropriate. The accusation was made that there was bid splitting. To my knowledge, there has never been any bid splitting. If the person making that accusation wants to provide some specifics, we'd be more than happy to look into it and, of course, investigate it and report that investigation to you.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor, Council Member Communications, City Attorney.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, I'd just like to report on this afternoon's closed sessions. The redevelopment agency and the City Council having met in closed session as to items 2 through 6. There is no reportable action. At the end of tonight's agenda, we will be meeting in closed session just briefly on item number 41, and I do not anticipate any reportable action. Thank you.
We now move